Good morning, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Nikki. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about my top 10 fall fragrances from Bath & Body Works. I also have one from Victoria's Secret, and I do have one honorable mention as well. Now, you guys know I love the gourmand scents, I love bakery, I love sweet, and it is the perfect time of year for this. Fall and winter is great for those cozy, delicious scents. So I have quite a few of those on this list, but I also have some fresher scents for people who aren't as into smelling like a dessert the way I am. But let's go ahead and jump into it. I did kind of put these in order, leading up to number one, but I love all of them. So just because something's at the end of the list doesn't mean that I don't like it. And it was really hard to put them in order, so take it with a little bit of a grain of salt. It's not perfect, and some of them could easily swap out for another spot. But let's go ahead and start with the honorable mention. So I did pull out Gingham Heart of Gold. Now, this one I believe I got it at the end of Winter SAS last year, thinking that I would wear it throughout the springtime, but when I pulled it out to wear it, I realized this is much more appropriate as a fall scent. The notes are crisp golden apple, creamy vanilla bean, and warm sandalwood, and even those notes to me sound like fall. And this almost smells like a designer perfume to me because of that woodsiness to it. I feel like it feels more sophisticated. It's not too tart. That apple note sometimes, you guys know me, I'm hit or miss with apple notes. Sometimes I'm okay with them, but a lot of times they kind of put me off of fragrances. But this one I do like, even though it has that apple note, because it's not too tart and the apple is not too overpowering. It's sweetened up quite a bit by the vanilla, and I really like that woodsiness in there as well. So this is one that is great for this time of year if you can get your hands on it. I don't think it's currently on their website. I'm pretty sure they discontinued this, but I wanted to put it in as an honorable mention just because it is great for this time of year. So if you have this in your collection, now is a great time to pull it out. All right, number 10 on this list I actually love, but I put it lower down on the list because it's not available right now, and I also don't have it in the body mist. I only have it in the cream, but it is Sugared Cherry Crisp. You guys, I loved this scent, and I was so surprised that I did. This came out a couple years ago, and I'm not usually a cherry person. Sometimes I find it to smell a little bit like cough syrup. Sometimes I find that it's just too like sickening sweet. But this, to me, smells so good because it has these notes in it that make it smell like a little bit of a warm, buttery sort of pie scent. The notes are bright cherry delight, crumbled graham cracker, and spun vanilla sugar. And it's that crumbled graham cracker note that I just can't get enough of. It's so good. I really, really want them to bring this back or do a similar scent with a different fruit note, whether that's an apple, like a good apple pie scent with these notes, only swap the cherry for apple, would be so good. This is just so warm and delicious, and I need to use up this body cream because it's not going to be good much longer. It's already starting to separate a little bit, so I need to use it up within like the next couple weeks. But it's so good. That's why I've been holding on to it for so long, because this is the last product in the scent that I have. But yes, it's delicious. It smells exactly like that cherry pie right there. It's those warm graham cracker, brown sugary notes in it that just melt me. I love it so much. All right, number 9 on the list is Snowflakes and Cashmere. Now, this one always comes out around Christmas time, so it's not out right now, but I'm sure it will be back around the holidays. And I have this one from last year in the Faceted collection. Snowflakes and Cashmere is a very warm, cozy, sophisticated scent. It is not too sweet if you're not a sweet lover. It doesn't smell like a dessert, but it still has those warm, cozy vibes. The notes are vanilla cashmere cream, caramel woods, and frosted clementine. This scent has so many scent memories attached to it for me because the first year that it came out, I wore it that entire year. Through the summer, I wore it in the fall, I wore it all year long, and I actually do feel like this scent can be appropriate year-round, even though it fits the best in fall and winter. It smells like a warm, cozy hug from a cashmere sweater. That's kind of the concept, I think, behind the name. It's just so cozy without smelling like a dessert, and I feel like That's kind of rare with their scents. A lot of their really warm scents smell gourmand. They smell edible, and I personally love that, but I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. So if you're looking for something that is fall appropriate, winter appropriate, that's warm and not necessarily fresh, like their kind of open air scent that I know a lot of people don't like. I don't like that scent either, but you also don't want something that smells like food. Try this out. It is so warm, delicious, cozy, and it smells expensive. It smells so nice. So love that one. That comes in at number 9. Now moving into some that are very gourmand. The first one is pumpkin cupcake. So, I mean, with a name like pumpkin cupcake, you have to expect it to smell like food, and it is also very fall appropriate, especially in the packaging. It's pumpkin themed. You get all the cutesy fall vibes. The notes are whipped buttercream, pumpkin spice, and vanilla cake batter. But this mostly just smells like frosting on, like vanilla frosting on a pumpkin cake. It just smells very, very sweet, sugary sweet, very girly, very youthful. You do get a little bit of a spicy sort of note, but it's very light. What you mostly get is cake and frosting. And it's definitely not full-on vanilla cake. I've heard some people say that they don't get any pumpkin in this and that it just smells like a vanilla cupcake. But you will see the next few scents on this list are a lot heavier on the vanilla, and there are some on here that actually smell like true vanilla cake. This does not to me. It definitely does smell more like a pumpkin cake, like a little bit of a spice cake with a really sweet, sugary frosting. So if that is what you're looking for, try this one out. It is great in the fall. You can also wear it throughout the year if you like that sort of thing, if you really like cakey warm scents, but I think there's some other ones on this list that are better for like a year-round gourmand vanilla scent. That to me does feel like fall. So that being said, talking about vanilla cake, the next one on my list is Vanilla Confetti Sparkle. So this came out during the summer in this packaging around 4th of July, but it originally came out a couple years ago in the springtime as Confetti Cake Pop. This is now Vanilla Confetti Sparkle, but they are the same scent. The notes are creamy cake frosting, rainbow sprinkles, and vanilla bean. And you guys, this scent is so good. For me, it's definitely worth the hype. This brings back summer memories now because I wore it over the summer, but it is perfect in the fall and the winter when you want those foodie, warm vibes. It smells so good. It took me a while to really fall in love with this scent. I don't know why. But once I fell in love with it, it's just so delicious. You get this really buttery, warm cake batter scent. You get a little bit of buttercream frosting. It's just a really good mouth-watering scent. It is light. You will have to reapply it all day long. This is great year-round. That's why they put it out in the summer, and it's also great for fall and winter. And originally it came out in the spring, so you can wear this anytime, but I know a lot of people like to wear those heavier, more gourmand scents in the fall and winter, and less so in the spring, summer when it's hot outside. But yes, if you're looking for like a perfect foodie vanilla cake scent, I would say this is probably your best bet. All right, now we're going to talk about something that I think is actually a little bit controversial now. This is my all-time favorite scent. It's what I'm wearing today, but unfortunately in recent years it has really gone downhill, and it's gone to the point where people actually call it vanilla bean no smell, because last year it legitimately was. Bonnie calls it that, which is hilarious because last year there was literally no smell. You couldn't smell anything. This is one of mine from a few years back. But oh my gosh, when this scent is at its best, it's amazing. And so I have some body creams and mists saved up from years past that I'm going through right now. And you guys, it is such a delicious warm scent. And I did see Bonnie's review of this year's, and she said it does have a scent this year. It's still light, but it's not like last year where it was literally vanilla bean, no smell. So I'm really praying that this scent is better this year. This bottle actually doesn't have the notes. Let me grab my body cream because it has the notes. All right, so the notes are fresh vanilla bean, sugar cookies, warm caramel, whipped cream, and snow-kissed musk. Y'all, it's so good. It's so good. You get this really delicious buttery sugar cookie scent mixed with caramel and vanilla. You get a little bit of a whipped cream note, and then there's this musk that I didn't notice for the longest time. I really just thought of this as like a pure foodie scent, but one night I put it on and I laid down in bed and I was like, oh my gosh, I smell the musk in this. There is this warm musk underneath all of that. That's just intoxicating. I love this scent so much, and I really like the way that this settles into my skin. Like when I put this on, I will smell good all day long. It doesn't start to change. Maybe it's just the way it reacts with my body chemistry that makes me love this so much, but it will smell good even after like going on a walk or getting sweaty or doing a workout or something. I will still smell like this, and it's just, I want it to be better this year so badly because this is my all-time favorite Bath & Body Works scent. The only reason it's not higher on this fall list is because it's not super fall. Like it is gourmand, it is warm, it is sweet, so it makes it very appropriate for this time of year. But the ones higher up on this list make me feel more like the fall season. So definitely love this one. It's still, I just heard an airplane and my brain thought it was my daughter, but my daughter's not even home right now. But even though this one has gone downhill lately and a lot of people aren't into it anymore, it's still my favorite. I love it so much. All right, so the next one is Sugared Snickerdoodle. Another gourmand scent. It smells like a cookie. I put this one higher on the list because it has those spicy notes in it that make it feel a little bit more like fall and less like a year-round scent. I wore it year-round, but I will say in the summer it did start to feel too heavy and too thick, and I have a really high tolerance for that sort of thing. I'm somebody who can wear those cookie scents, those warm cakey scents when it's 100 degrees outside, and it doesn't bother me. I know it does for some people, but this one was still a little bit much. I feel like this one is a lot better in the fall and winter than it would be year-round. The notes are snickerdoodle spice, creamy vanilla, and sugared musk. And in the spray, this smells like a pretzel shop to me. Like it smells like the cinnamon sugar pretzels at Auntie Anne's pretzel shop. It is so buttery and delicious, and those spice notes just top it off perfectly. It's a little bit different in the body cream than it is in the spray, I will say that. It's a little bit cooler. It's still super warm scent, but it's a little bit cooler, like a dough in the body cream, whereas this smells like fresh out of the oven, warm baked goods. But yeah, this one came out last year at Christmas time, and I really hope they bring it back because I really, really enjoy this scent. All right, now getting into the top 4 on this list, I pulled out Victoria's Secret Bare Vanilla. If you know, you know, this scent is so good. It is warm, it is musky, it's like a sophisticated grown-up vanilla. It's not a pure cakey foodie scent like Confetti Cake Pop / Vanilla Confetti Sparkle. It's not even as gourmand, I think, as Vanilla Bean Noel. It's got even more of this musk. It's got some cashmere in it. The notes are whipped vanilla, soft cashmere, and skin to skin, which I interpret as like a musky scent, which for me, when I first smelled this, that musky note was the first thing that I picked up on before the cashmere, before the vanilla. It just has this really warm, kind of intoxicating scent. This is a mature vanilla. It doesn't smell like sweets. It doesn't smell like a dessert. It doesn't smell like food. So if you are looking for a vanilla scent that smells sophisticated, that smells mature, that doesn't smell too foodie, this is a great one, and it is great in the fall and winter time. I put it above some of those other vanilla scents, not because I like it more, although I do love it. It's really hard for me to pick which vanillas I like the most, but I think that this will appeal to more people because it is not too sweet and it is so good for this time of year. So that is number 4 on the list. Number 3 on the list is very different from all the other scents because it is a fresh one. This is Autumn Drive. Y'all, Autumn Drive smells so good. I have fallen in love with it. This one just came out this year. It is brand new, and I don't know what it is, but I love this. I don't know if you can tell how much of this I've gone through, and it's down to like here, and that's a lot for a fragrance mist in this amount of time. I wore this yesterday and my husband complimented me, and he never comments on scent. He is not a person that's really into fragrance, and even when I burn 3-wick candles that are like a super heavy throw, he says that he can't even smell it. So he's not a person that normally notices scent, but I put this on and then I walked by him and he was like, "Oh my gosh, that smells so good. What is that? That smells amazing." I think it's because it has a raspberry note in it. I've noticed that on the rare occasion that he does compliment something, it usually has a raspberry note. I think that's kind of his favorite scent note, even though he probably doesn't know that at all. The notes are wild raspberry, warm amber, and vanilla birch. Y'all, this scent. This is a fresh scent that I can get on board with. It is so perfectly blended. that delicious raspberry juicy note along with those woodsy notes and the amber. It is rich. It smells sophisticated. It smells fresh. It really does smell like you're going on a walk in the fall time, but it doesn't actually smell like outdoors. It doesn't have that fresh air note at all. It just conceptually feels like that. It smells so good. This could be a perfume. Just like I said about Gingham Heart of Gold, how that can be a high-end perfume, so could this. I would buy this even if it was like a $50 perfume or a $75 perfume. It is one of the few fresh perfumes that I really, really love because it still has enough sweetness from that raspberry. And I don't know, something about this almost reminds me of Pink Velvet Cupcake, which is weird to say, but there is something similar about them that is just intoxicating to me, and it makes me want to reapply over and over and over, and I can't get enough. Also, this lasts for me so long on clothes. I sprayed it on myself in the car, which is, I love putting on fragrance in the car because you're in such a small space that I feel like you can smell it for like the entire drive. So strong. So I always, when I get in the car, if I'm going to go on a drive to like pick up my daughter from my mom's house, which is like 25 minutes away, I always put on my fragrance like in the car, reapply it. It smells so good. But anyway, I put this on in the car, and for like 3 days, every time I opened the car door, I could smell this scent like all throughout my car, which is so rare. Because like I said, I do this a lot. I like to apply fragrance in the car. And usually I can smell it throughout the drive, but it's not like the next day I still get that scent in the car. But this lingered in my car for days. It is such a good, strong scent. I love it. All right, number 2 on the list is number 2 because for me, it is the quintessential fall scent. I smell this and it is October in my head. It is my October-November scent. I do really like it. I wouldn't say that I like it more than everything else on the list, and that's why it's so high. It is just so strongly associated with autumn, and I do like it a lot that I had to put it up high on this list. And that is Marshmallow Pumpkin Latte. So this is last year's packaging. This comes out every single year, and I think that's why I have such a strong association with it. The notes are pumpkin latte, toasted marshmallows, creamy sandalwood, and praline musk. Yeah, that is November in my mind. That is October and November. It doesn't smell like coffee, even though it has latte in the name. I don't like a lot of their coffee scents. I don't even really like Midnight Amber Glow because of the coffee note. I don't like Vanilla Mocha Cream because of the coffee note. So if you don't like coffee, don't let that scare you away. This does not smell like coffee. This smells more like the toppings or like the syrups that you put in the coffee, but not the coffee itself. I think it's the praline in this that just makes me absolutely love it. There's not a whole lot of actual spicy pumpkin sort of notes, but there is something about this that just feels so reminiscent of a fall dessert. You do get a little bit of spice, but a lot of what you get is marshmallow and praline and these blended sweet scents. It definitely smells like a dessert or a very, very sweet drink. But yeah, this to me, it just screams fall. So I had to put it high on the list. And then the number 1 scent on this list might be my number 1 Bath & Body Works scent ever. It might have topped Vanilla Bean Noel, which is really hard to say because I love Vanilla Bean Noel. This one is also not year-round. It originally came out in the autumn 4 years ago, and it is still best, in my opinion, in the autumn and in the winter, but it is great even in the summer, and I've even started wearing it in the spring, and it is Bonfire Bash. So if you know, you know. This scent is so good. It's so good. I don't remember which year's packaging this was. It's not this year's. This year it's in the faceted packaging, and it's actually a really boring packaging for an amazing scent. It's just like a silver faceted bottle. It's boring. This one's a little bit better. It had the leaves on it, so I pulled out this bottle to show you guys because I feel like this one gives it a little bit more elegance, but oh my gosh, you guys, this scent, I'm sure you've heard people talk about it. It's got a huge following. It is really good. It smells like a smoky marshmallow. I don't have the notes on this bottle. Let me grab my body cream again because that has the notes. So the notes are vanilla bourbon, creamy sandalwood, and cashmere musk. And it smells like a really mature, smoky sort of vanilla. It doesn't, to me, smell too strong of bourbon or alcohol. Scents that smell like that sometimes are too much for me. Even sweet whiskey is sometimes too much for me. But this is not. This smells really gourmand, even though the notes aren't super gourmand. but it's not too sweet. It's not too smoky. It is perfectly right in the middle, but there is just something so warm and delicious about this. Like a gooey marshmallow in the middle of s'mores. There's no graham cracker note, there's no chocolate note, there's not even a s'mores note, but it does kind of remind me of roasting marshmallows at a bonfire, and it's just so good. I love this. I kind of want to top off my Vanilla Bean Noel with Bonfire Bash because I love it so much. But yes, if you have not tried Bonfire Bash, you really should. It's one of my favorites. Not everyone likes it. Some people find that it's too smoky, and some people just don't like sweet scents at all, but it's really not too sweet at all. Like, even if you don't like confetti cake pop or vanilla bean Noel or sugared snickerdoodle, if all of those are too sugary sweet, pumpkin cupcake, if you don't like any of those, you still might like this because it is not overly sweet. It actually has some similarities to Bare Vanilla. They're both sort of like musky, cashmere-ish vanilla scents that smell very mature and not overly sweet, but still have that sort of intoxicating vanilla note. So anyways, those are my favorite scents for fall that I have been loving recently. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next week in my next video. I am planning to do the same thing for candles, so that should be the next video on the list. But if y'all enjoyed, again, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see y'all next time.